Hello everyone. Hi, my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my YouTube. It's 7:03. It's 7:03 on Tuesday, November 18th, where tonight we'll be talking about episode 5, one episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We are doing season 3. This is episode 5. It's called Book of Resurrection. So my pets, thank you so much for being here. I obviously know I owe you Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance the other way. And obviously, I want to finish 5 more episodes of this show, which I'm going to do. Hi, Hawaiian dude. I saw you on Instagram. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. That was really, really kind. It also reminded me that I hadn't set up the live. So, pretty much, hi, how are you? I'm going to do this one episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and then I'm going to have 5 more for the first drop, and then I also will do Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance tomorrow. So I'm going to do a bunch of lives tomorrow, and I'm just going to bust them out. I'm excited to talk about Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance as well, but like I just wanted to make sure I had gotten at least 5 of the 90 Day, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? 5 of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives out. Because again, we're going to get 10 more, or who knows, we're going to get a bunch more on Thursday. So I just want to get like a good chunk. And that's on the docket, my loves. How are you? I'm doing good. Tell me what's up. I'll start this live if you don't mind after I can like say hi to you all. Tell me what's up. What's been happening? How's your Tuesday? Did you have tacos? Is that a thing? I made dinner. I made dinner. I actually just posted about it on TikTok because I'm trying to be a more TikTok-y type person. So if you really want the whole situation, I did put it there. And this is obviously the remnants of it. And I made 3 things, and I have a lot of leftovers, and it's basically all Lebanese food. It's kefta, which is ground beef. People also use ground lamb, honey, but that's not me. Ground beef, and then onions, and you have to like really grate the onions, which grating onions is horrible. I cried all my makeup off. My face is so red. That's a whole other situation. Parsley, mint for the kefta, and then the Lebanese 7 spices, which is like, you know how there's like Chinese 5 spices, then Lebanese people put 2 more in. Ha ha ha, just kidding. But it's it's the 7 spices that are predominantly used in the Levantine cooking, which is listen, this is going to be, if I name them like the 7 dwarves, know that obviously there's like a set amount of 7 dwarves, and wherever you go, some people be like, not that one spice, more the other spice. So it's all the warming spices. So it's usually cumin, coriander, it's cinnamon, allspice, cloves, nutmeg. Cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, cloves, coriander, cumin. That's 6. Cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, cloves, coriander, cumin. One more. So I think it's either black pepper or ginger. I think that's the last one. Like that's, it's kind of like a little bit like, meh. You're very pretty, and I'm not gay. That's so kind. I mean, you can be gay and still think I'm pretty, but thank you so much, Bernice. It's so funny. I go back and forth of like how I look right now. I think that I do have like a lot of makeup on, mostly because my face started to get really red. I think I'm having some, God bless Michaela, eczema, which we'll get into. Don't worry. We're still talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Don't you worry. And Michaela, God bless her, has eczema, and so do I. Not as bad as Michaela. And you can really see when her eczema is like going crazy. It just like makes you have really dry skin. Like I'm having it on my hands too right now. Who knows? Stress related? Sure. Something else? Maybe. I mean, it was a Michaela heavy episode, and I'm going to be happy to talk about it. Also a Jordan heavy episode. Also, I'm happy to talk about a lot of this stuff. So, Bernice, can I say something? You're very pretty. So I'm into it. I was happy about the Taco Bell shout out because I like Taco Bell. And it's just funny how many different brands are always like playing with these girls, and how many like little shout outs they have to like getting that coin on the DL, honey, because they're about selling. They shill, swig, whatever they're doing, they're making money. All right, 5 minutes in. Welcome. If you haven't yet, please like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please tell the algorithm you're into it in some way, especially after it gets posted. Go ahead and, give it a comment. I will comment back after, I promise. So thank you so much for spending tonight with me. And we're going to talk about, again, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's season 3. It's episode 5. It's the Book of Resurrection. Come ye saints and come ye sinners. Hallelujah. Something like that. This is a live recap, honey. Okay, so listen, we're hot on the heels of Jordan having called a meeting of dad talk and mom talk. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Moms, dads, husband, wives, influencers, and those that are being, like subsidized by the influencers. God bless. Those that are just like living a beautiful life just because their wives got into this thing where they dance, they point at the same time together. They're cute girls with long hair that go and film things where they put on some sort of fun choreography and point. It's just, I will say this. One part of talking about this show is happening where I also am trying. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Bernice. Thank you. What a gift. What a gift for you to spend any time with me. Thank you. One interesting thing, and I know I have ADHD, so I'm talking to you and then back to what my stream of thought is. One weird thing about watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is that I'm trying to do TikTok, right? I already told you guys like that. Like, you can literally watch my like prep and my cooking of tonight's dinner. All right. And TikTok is a whole weird beast algorithm, unlike YouTube, which I've already like asked for you to tickle, but TikTok feels like that at night, if you're on TikTok and you're wanting to either create or be an influencer, it's like you go to a casino at night and you just play the slots and hope one of them hits. That's what TikTok feels like. And I am a new person in this, so it's interesting. Like, also TikTok has this things where I just keep saying like, we're giving you bonus views because I basically have like no followers. And so anyway, so it's just, can someone on TikTok tell me what the hell it is? It's interesting. So, but you know what, who really made it big? All of these girls, specifically Taylor, who really deserves everything. So as we know, Jordan, however, has brought everyone together, mostly the women, because he is so offended that Jesse not only cheated on him, and now everyone knows, isn't that upset and isn't taking accountability for cheating, because at the core of Jesse, she's like, you deserved it. And I don't want to be with you. That's what she's not saying. So because Jesse's not saying that, he's doing too much, but he's, again, bringing everyone together to be like, we are in therapy. And do you know how disrespectful it is for Jesse to invite the man that she had an affair with, 2 kisses, an affair with? And you're like, okay. And obviously all the women know that he has really not been a kind husband. And like, that's one way of saying it. They definitely use it. Jesse used the word like emotional abuse. And like, she says that he called her names. He made her feel so stum. Stum is the word dumb and stupid at the same time, which is like exactly how I feel when I said that word. And she's paying for everything, for his life, for their kids, for their house. She has the whole hair business. She has the whole influencer business. And it is like horrifying to think that like this woman comes home and then there's this kind of spoiled brat of a husband who's like, oh, well, you didn't do any right when you were supposed to do, which is everything. Everything you're doing is wrong. And thank you for doing it all is not whatever I'm going to say. And I'm not going to help you do it right. He is bossy, and it feels like it comes from a deep place of feeling bad about himself. It's like he doesn't have enough to give. And because he's not giving enough, he doesn't feel confident asserting or speaking his mind or saying his piece. And on top of that, maybe his decisions and some of his choices that he wants to do are bad or like not great. And she's like, I don't want to do that. That's going to make my life hard. And here's the thing. if I'm paying for everything, if my life is the one that's like making your life okay, like by being famous, then my life has to be easy for me to continue this. And if you're going to put roadblocks in my happiness and my security and my comfort by like making asinine demands when like you don't really have a leg to stand on, then that's going to be a problem, Jordan. And here's the thing, all the girls know that. Now, here's one other annoying thing. Jesse isn't not okay. Jesse seemingly is afraid to be honest with a bunch of people in her life. For instance, herself. So Jordan is like bottom of the list. She's not, she had to be pressed to be like super honest with the girls. And even then, I don't know how honest she is with herself of why she is literally flirting with Marciano. Like why she allowed him to have access to her after seemingly wanting to do her wrong in a really fucked up way. And on top of that, as Taylor pointed out, like he didn't treat her in a way in which it felt like he genuinely felt a connection early on. He treated her like, oh, that's the girl that looks like Demi but has blue eyes. And, you know, she's not saying no. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's true. Now, we can say that Jessie really needed like some sort of emotional escape and she needed like to feel alive and all that stuff because she talks about feeling numb and stuff like that. And so I think that you have to understand at some point that people see your behaviors and they're going to want answers. Jessie like needs to say to herself and the girls, I've felt so numb that feeling with Marciano feels alive. Like he makes me feel electric. He's hot. I don't know. He makes me feel horny. He, you know, tells me how hot I am and it like, you know, awakens things in me and I don't feel so again like numb, boring, you know, like routine. And two things is made me realize that I'm not happy. Also, B, I have the wherewithal to feel like this could be a negative or bad thing, but I am so starved of this feeling that I need to ride the wave or I need to get it again, or I need to just see what happens and like get burned and learn my lesson, or I need to like whatever it is, like because she is playing with fire. And I say this not from a place of caring about Jordan's feelings at all. If she was single, it'd be the same way. For the reasons I said, she's playing with fire because I don't feel, again, she's being honest with the reasons why she wants to be around him. And all the girls know that. Specifically, I feel like Taylor knows that. Now, I thought Taylor was feeling from my side what it is, but unfortunately, as we get into this, she starts, I think, to feel bad for Jordan in this situation. And I think it has some dumb reason to do with the fact that Jordan and Dakota are best friends. Ugh. Anyway, so Taylor is defending Jordan a little bit. And, you know, even though like the other girls, like Michaela, who's like, you know, wildly conservative, having been told that Jessie like feels like Jordan is emotionally abusive, is like rolling her eyes and laughing, you know, at Jordan. And, you know, and the mom talk, dad talk, I feel like does a good job of not letting this conversation sort of, you know, disintegrate into some weird gender role red pill kind of situation. I don't know why I said red pill like that. Red pill. You know, like it where it's like men need a blah bitty blue, put their foot down. It's all the things that Cody Brown is so upset about not to like jump ship to a different show. It's so funny because even in Sister Wives, Cody's like, my biggest problem was I couldn't just have everyone sit down and listen to me by yelling at them and telling to listen to me. That well, one big problem is that you thought that was an option, that would ever work with adults after a certain age. That's what I mean. That's why Cody Brown only could like deal with people under 5. Because after a while, when people have like transient thought, like when people are like conscious, sentient thought, I guess, people are like, no, I can just think for myself and no. So anyway, God bless. So Taylor, for some reason, is forgetting about the emotional abuse aspect of what Jessie has said and like sort of being like, well, I get it because like Jordan, yeah, like low key, I don't want to say it, but it was a bad look that she invited Marciano. And I think that you have to give Taylor some foils. You can't make her like the perfect girl's girl where she's like some Sailor Moon style, always in the right. And I'm not saying that she's right or wrong, but she's being contrarian here. So, hi guys. By the way, I'm so sorry. So when I bring up Cody Brown, I'm talking about the ex patriarch of Sister Wives, the other Mormon show that's a big deal and has been on for like 20 seasons. And it's like my Roman Empire. It's so small and moving and yet so dumb. I love it so much. And Cody's also on special forces. Anyway, God bless. But I speak of it a lot because of the Mormon thing. Now they're fundamentalists, so they're very different in a bunch of ways. And Mormons obviously aren't the only people that talk about gender roles and all that stuff, obviously. So it's, heavily involved in American culture, Christian culture, and all of that. All I was saying about that is that I was happy that that dad talk thing wasn't like super annoying. Jordan did take some responsibility, but however, when he took a little lick of it, I mean, Taylor was like, God, yes. Oh, thank you. A man, a real man. I was like, all right, Taylor. So we move on to a very fun thing, which is which is Miranda's birthday. And it's a look-alike birthday party that is basically chill. And this is what I actually low key wanted and like what I had asked for, which is I wanted them to have a party that felt like a normal party where there wasn't going to be horrible, weird drinks, and bad, stupid souvenirs and the same lit up sign, that's like neon and has some dumb brand name in cursive and maybe like, a flower wall, like all of those things. So I was really happy to have her be like, I just want to like look super, super cute, but also like super chill. And I want to like play dumb games. And I was like, yeah. All the girls are like, we're going to dress up like her. And they do. And I like the fact that there's nuance to the long hair. Like hers is super blonde. And Jesse's like, now remember, ladies, she likes a crimp. She likes a crimp. You know what I'm saying? We all know what a crimp is. And it's like if you are someone of the 90s or whatnot, then you understand there's a couple of things she's saying. There's the old school crimp that was like very flat, hot metal, and your hair was just like 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 it was just so rigidly triangular, and it was fun. Okay, so the second why I said it like that. I said fun as if it wasn't fun. It was fun. The second thing now, or what the girls do, is like this three-pronged curling iron where you put your hair in like there and then it goes like bloop or whatever. And then so instead of hard triangles, you get this kind of very uniform wave that is more of a crimp wave. So yeah, I mean, Miranda loves that. Miranda's feeling herself. You know what I'm saying? Miranda's like in mom talk now. By the way, I like recently. I recently I began because I have to say I've been paying more attention on TikTok. I saw Miranda on TikTok. Do you know that she can sing? Listen, she's no Aretha, but she's not bad. She's not even like Adele for sure, but she's like kind of country folkish and she has a resonance to her voice. Like, it's not super breathy and that kind of like I don't trust myself and I'm just trying to like see if you guys will be into it. You're just like, no, that's so boring. She really like, can utilize breath control. I was really happy with her. So anyway, that made me happy. So good for her. So before we get to her party, though, we have a little Taylor get together with baby goats and tractors because she has two big newses. One news is that guess what? Dancing with the Stars called, and they're gonna pick one girl, one lucky girl to be on Dancing with the Stars. And like right away, Jen's like, me. And she's like, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm pregnant right now, but listen, I ran the New York Marathon after 3 months. I was like, oh my God, God bless. Also, yeah, we had gotten a little bit of Jen playing the piano. I didn't realize that Jen wanted to be a dancer so much. And it's interesting because we know that these girls are dance adjacent from their TikTokness. And I certainly had realized season 1 that Whitney has groove. God, for lack of a better word, she does. Whitney has groove. Like Whitney, from what I read, actually was like low key, like a dance major, a dance major in college. But even if someone was a dance major in college, she knows how to move her body in space. And I cannot do it, in multiple styles. So, and she, literally became famous for doing that. At the same time, it's fine because Nicole Scherzinger at one point was on Dancing with the Stars. She now, of course, won a Tony and she's on Broadway. And before then, she, of course, had done Pussycat Dolls. I don't know why I said it like, I feel like really I hit that P. But like, that was always so crazy to me that she was allowed to be on the show because she was a professional dancer. I mean, she's a professional dancer now, and she was a professional dancer then. Like, if you were in a musical on Broadway, then you are somewhat of a professional dancer. And she danced in that Sunset Boulevard. She didn't even have to. It was like some modern number. You know what I'm talking about. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was with one look? I wish they had done like a Pussycat Dolls Sunset Boulevard remix. I can melt your heart. Okay, I'll stop. All right. So basically, she's also Taylor's also like, hey, also guess what? Whitney and like Demi are going to be around because we're going to go to Los Angeles for a Hulu event, and because of that, um, hmm, and because of that, we have the propensity to see all of the Hulu people. It's interesting because we were told that Whitney and Demi had not signed up for this season for various reasons because of contract issues and because of that. So at this point, when we hear that they're going to be there, then we have to assume that that either was a lie or they have obviously re-signed. And then because you had given that like information prior, I feel like we need to be like updated, right? I don't know. That's what I felt because we're like, okay, so they're on the show, like they signed their contracts. She didn't get all the money. She obviously didn't get Oscar tickets. Whitney was like, look, I never asked for Oscar tickets, but I totally asked for a scripted show. Huh. And she's like, I want that. So she's obviously going to be into Dancing with the Stars. And Miranda's like, yeah, we were actually going to see Whitney my birthday because we talked and she apologized. And the girls all listen to this and they're like, what, girl, what? We just had you back in. If you had told us this, we would have absolutely had you not. Now, one of them has to be like, I guess Whitney isn't as bad as Demi. And Miranda's like, well, yeah, and I got rid of that. And it's interesting, though, because the other part of Whitney is like, I'm not friends with any of these girls. I don't even really want to be. But here we are. And before then, we get a sad friend chicken dinner. And the sad friend chicken dinner is Macy and Michaela. McCasey is what I think I said last night. I think it rolls off the tongue better. And basically, our little fun pregnant ladies are eating what looks like a lemon breaded chicken breast. And Macy had like prepared it and she literally just asked her husband just to like cook it and like halfway in the middle of cooking. And he's like, oh, good, Michaela's here, you cook it. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so he leaves fine. And they have to talk because Michaela has to like get her friend to understand that she's been dealing with like some sexual intimacy issues. And we've been knowing that she's had like some traumatic past situations in her childhood and adolescence. And we really got more details of how young she was. And it's so horrific. And it's basically that, yeah, at the like tender age of 8, she was really sexually abused. And she wasn't definitely in obviously A, a safe space at all, or B, to have anyone like help her or for her to go to. And it has really wreaked havoc on her marriage now because she finds it hard to feel. She doesn't want to like have sex. She doesn't really like to sit and marinate in the feelings of like romantic love, because romantic love and like sexual love live in a space that like very early on for her, like her first experiences have like are tied with such horror, like negativity and just like abject, just like, obviously not her consent. And so yeah, so at first she says that she wants to try EMDR, which actually I thought EMDR at first was tapping, and now I realize it's not. Okay, and I got them confused, and now I realize, because tapping is one thing, and then EMDR I realize is where, yeah, you move your hand really fast. One, the therapist, and the other person follows it with their eyes, and then you somehow reprocess your brain in certain areas so that you can move past like the reactions that you have when you get triggered, so that you can like almost like it feels like ironing them out. Okay, so God bless. So basically, Whitney gets a little scene where we get her going to lunch with her friend Casey and Kaylee, and I was like, oh my God, girl, are these girls cast? Kaylee and Casey? No. Also, we're never gonna see these girls again. Absolutely. Also, I kind of wish that if you're gonna give us some dumb, like Miranda and Whitney texted each other and Whitney apologized, like I just maybe feel like Miranda could have had her own scene with Whitney where Whitney was like, hey Miranda, do you mind if I like meet up with you before your birthday? Which would have made more sense. And then then they could have talked. But basically, Whitney lets it be known, like a little villain, like, hey, bitches, I'll tell you why I'm back. One reason only, dancing with the star. You know why I said with the star? Because it's just me, bitch. I did it on purpose, um, and she's not wrong. We get a floral hydro jug event for the influencers, which, I mean, that is so dumb and funny. I forgot about hydro jug. Like I forgot about hydro jug completely. Remember, Stanleys are number one, and like half these girls have Stanleys in all the scenes. And then number two is like those. Is it not Odwalla, but Ozwalla? Like that's the other brand that's really, really great. Not Odwalla. Orwalla. That's the brand that I feel like makes good containers, on the go to containers. So but they're having some event and they paid the money, so God bless. And guess who's there? Demi. And it's like a spring, very like Easter theme. It's like florals. Like I'll tell you, I think Demi is wearing, it looks like a Selkie gown or like a MacDougal gown. It has a lot of boning and it's really beautiful. It's probably the best outfit that I've seen her wear in a long time, because I don't like her outfit in the last scene when she was at that influencer event with Camille and she got mad at Layla and she said that she was going to go live and she didn't. I thought that outfit was like not it. Anyway, so all the girls are like, oh shit, we don't have the cameras filming, but she's here. And like, what are we going to do? And so they just all take out their cameras because they're like, that's what we do. We're influencers. So they do. And guess what? Drama is afoot, which because they know what they have to do. Now, this is all the built up of the fact that Marciano and Jesse kiss, and they had met at the villa, and Demi and Marciano also are in cahoots, and they might have fucked or just kissed or who knows what to like do that, but also bring down Jesse. And now we know that because he told us that she wanted Jesse to be put to the fire, and Layla knows that, and that's why she doesn't want to be friends with Demi anymore. And so at this event, Demi comes over and tries to talk to Layla at first. And Layla's like, why are you here? Don't touch me. And Demi's like, I don't understand why we can't just be friends and talk and just like pretend that didn't happen. I just don't understand why you don't believe me. I'm a good person and Jesse's horrible. Like she's a lying cheater. Like, so it's interesting because that's like what's happening. But at the same time, like Layla is being watched by all the girls, specifically Taylor and all that stuff. And it's like, oh my God, we're going to go get her. So they basically go and rescue her and pull her to a side. And as that's happening, Demi starts taunting Jesse by being like, I know that you fucked Marciano, like across the room of this like fancy floral dressed affair or whatever. And then, I mean, Jesse just like is like, fuck you, you stupid bitch. Which isn't a great look for hydro flask drug. I mean, if it's a flask, honey, maybe, but hydro jug, honey, I don't know. So that's the end of that scene. Next scene is Miranda's birthday, and that makes me happy. So Layla brings her new boo, who's Mason, who is Caleb's brother, who is Miranda's ex-husband, but she also um dated him. Messy. And but now she's there with Mason. Everyone's wearing blonde wigs except for Whitney when she comes. She already has blonde hair. And yeah, it's Miranda's, she said, like a rad tag kid birthday. It's low key. Um they're just gonna like kick back and like wear off the shoulder big sweatshirts and like maybe like some Timberlands or something, like they're just cash. So basically, Whitney comes, and as we know, after some time has passed, everyone's like, "Oh, Whitney, you love just like showing up to a birthday." And she's like, "Well, I was invited." And so she sits down, everyone's like, "What's happening?" And she's very weirded out by it. And so she is basically like, "I just wanted to like show face." And they all got up and walked away from the table she was at, and she felt super, super awkward. She talks to Jen, who's there, because Jen and her had talked a little bit, and she had given Jen some comfort when Jen was going through her mental health breakdown last season. And at the same time, Jen's like, yeah, right afterward, you became best friends with Demi, who was my low key bully. And also, I just didn't hear from you again. And I think that she was just doing that to like get back in mom talk. And so she tells Whitney that she's like, well, it was actually you who didn't do it. Whitney's whole thing is just to turn it around on people. Actually, I was just really, really sad. And it was you that stopped talking to me. And the girls are just like, oh my God. Then she leaves, and that's the end of Miranda's birthday. Then we get Michaela going to her EMDR. Now she goes to a great therapist, honey, and this therapist is named Joy. So basically, she sits down, and I had never seen this before. I was fascinated by this. I was so happy to see EMDR in real life, like I said, and I was just like, okay, so it's basically like, okay, sit down. I mean, not a lot of like setup, no exposition, just like watch my fingers. I'm going to retrain your brain. And she does this. I mean, like, it's pretty fast. I'm like, can I follow? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what that looked like. Probably crazy. I'm on live doing that. Who knows? But I will say that, like, at some point, she goes, okay, stop and breathe. And Michaela's like, okay. She's like, how are you feeling? She's like, okay. She's like, okay, let's do it again. Michaela's like, stop, breathe. And then she's like, oh, how are you feeling? And we're going to just kind of talk about things. And as they come up, you can talk. And she just starts crying and talks about obviously why she's there, which is to get past these, which she says, intimacy issues in her relationship due to some of the trauma that she has. And this EMDR person, Joy, is like, okay, well, it feels like, I don't know if this is going to be where we should start then. It feels like we should unpack some of that. I thought that she was going to have her go to, like, I feel like she should, okay, I'm not a therapist, obviously, not a doctor, but it feels like Michaela should start off with her own, she should be in her own therapist's office, period, like once a week, right? And then that person should know her heart and her mind about things. And that person could either have a sex therapist or be also do sex therapy, but maybe maybe this person just has someone. And then her and, I can Jace or Jacob, one of them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that there's Macy, Michaela, Jace, and Jacob? Is that annoying to you? It's annoying to me. Anyway, God bless. So the MDR is like, I actually think you should just go right to a sex therapist. I don't know why I said it like that. Sex therapist with your husband. And I was like, well, I do think that that's obviously what's going to have. It would be a great thing to happen or whatever. It's just interesting that this EMDR person was like, we have to get to that before we can get to kind of this, so that we can get everyone on the same page. Now, here's something. The EMDR person was like, yeah, so didn't give a little like, I'll give you a recommendation, or I have someone in mind, or don't worry, I like have a great person. She was like, so bye, $200,000. I don't know. Um, I do want to try EMDR, but then I feel like I'm gonna go and they're just gonna be like, well, you should just go to therapy. I'm like, well, oh, isn't can I go to the same person that does both? Is there a buy one get one free? Is there a BOGO therapist, honey? Therapist, sex therapist, EMDR, and a little tapping. I don't mind a little tapping. So then Taylor has all the ladies, this is like her third meeting of the minds, come over to Miranda's house because they have to discuss the situation that is Whitney. And at this time, the women have told Taylor that she is their number one. Taylor is queen, and they like have all bound down. At some point, I feel like I want to be like, are there low-key brands? Do you all have tattoos on a very small part of you that Taylor like made you all get? I do love that. So they also are all wearing the look of the season. It's oversized sweatpants. It is low profile Uggs, like some of those ones with the yarn around the tip. By the way, I've been obviously low key obsessed with talking about the Uggs, and I've like talked about it on TikTok and whatnot. My little niece, so young, I was like, girl, what do you want for Christmas? She's like, I want Uggs. I want the short Uggs with the red piping. And I was like, oh my God, you and the Mormon wives, Layla? Okay, so they're also all eating Taco Bell. Oh my God. They don't even really talk about it that much. They don't Taco Bell about it that much, but I know it's there. I see it's all the rappers. Oh my God. Yeah, let's just like all have a mom talk meeting, and I just like run to the border and I get us a bunch of tacos. We all bring our Uggs and we talk about Whitney. But by talking about Whitney, I mean Whitney's going to come over. So Taylor is obviously queen bee in charge, and it's snowing outside. Every girl's coming over freezing. Whitney comes over just in a fucking shirt, short sleeve shirt. The shirt says, I feel like 2000 Britney, which anyway, so but obviously she wants us to see the shirt because again, it's snowing outside. Could you imagine? It'd be like seeing me in the snow. So she gets out there and Taylor is straight up like, girl, what are you doing here? Why are you here? We smell it on you. It's bad intentions. What's up? You can't just come in, come out. It isn't a flip and flop. Honey, you're not Tariq and Christina. Honey, if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're fucking out. You can't just like be voted in and then just be like, I want out. And then just suddenly come back in. That's so weird. And Whitney's like, well, I just didn't know what was happening. I didn't get invited anywhere. Taylor's like, what? Why are you here? And Whitney's like, well, as you guys know, I have always had one really, really good skill. I'm just kidding. Whitney's obviously a really good dancer. She is. She's the best dancer already from any of these girls, period. I just know it. I've seen their bodies. I've seen their move. They have great bodies, but I've seen them move on all their TikToks, honey. None of them have it like Whitney. I'm not saying Whitney is like Sid Charisse and reincarnate or whatever, God bless. But at the same time, if anyone should be on that show, it should be her. Now, I don't know what her end game was to not sign up for Mom Talk again unless it's all part of her plan. She seems to pull what her plan is out of left fucking field. And by left fucking field, I mean like her asshole. So basically, after being grilled about why she's there, and then her being like, well, I just like want to see what's happening and I want to, see if I can be doing Dancing with the Stars. And Taylor's like, well, this is a business, but it's also a friendship. You can't just like be not in it or in it. And so, what are your plan now? And Whitney's like, okay, well, my plan is to start another Mom Talk. Now, Mom Talk is, what is Mom Talk? Mom Talk is, to me, a group of girls that are on TikTok. Now, they are TikTok influencers. Now, in a whole other realm, there is already 1 billion other mom influencers. Mom influencing is like a whole ass thing. Now, like a Venn diagram of mom influencers, there's a whole other subsect of Utah influencers. And of the mom and subsect of Utah influencers, there's already like a bunch of Mormon influencers. God bless, like Ballerina Farm and that Nara Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know their names. So do you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not only know their names, we know their aesthetics. Ballerina Farm, I mean, I am assuming you know this, and welcome to my world. Ballerina Farm is like, someone who went to Juilliard, was a ballerina, met her very rich husband who's like, dad owns JetBlue, like in New York, and then now cosplay is like farm ranchers, and they like own a big company that now sells dough, flour, meat, who all of the things. It's like an influencing company, and she has a billion kids, probably is pregnant right now, and has like this crazy ass stove where it's always on, and there's all these compartments, kind of like a Polly Pocket or something, and you just like are cooking something in all the time, and it's always crazy. I follow her, obviously. The other one who I don't follow is Nara Smith, and she's that one where she talks like this. I woke up in the morning and I made my stupid husband freshly baked Cheerios. You're just like, oh my God, what? I did apple cinnamon freshly baked Cheerios. It took me a really long time to use tweezers to make little circles. You're like, oh my God. I actually don't follow her. It's because I can't actually like stomach, I think, that aesthetic too much. Like, I think it would make me go crazy just to like have to hear that like monotone voice a little too much. It's weird what sounds are overwhelming for me to hear in long term. Anyway, having said that, if Whitney started another mom talk, it's like not a big deal. What are you saying? You're gonna be another mom talk, and you're gonna be another influencer that is Mormon, that is a mom that dances and points to things. Like, there's a billion of views. She can. You don't have. I mean, I would love to know if Taylor straight up copyrighted mom talk. She should. I'm assuming she did. You'd be like, oh, great. Well, if you use the word mom talk, we'll sue you. So basically, Whitney like gets up and leaves, and now is like given full trajectory to like start her own villain side gig, her villainous mom talk. It's almost like, obviously, like mom talk is like Gemin and the holograms, and Whitney is like the misfits. You're welcome. You're welcome. I like the way it ends because basically Whitney leaves those girls, right? And she's like, fuck you, bitches. And she's like in her car, and she's like, I am determined even more to get Dancing with the Stars. I will be a star, And she is. And obviously she did. And she's killing it on the show. And so it's good to see. That is the end of the episode. And episode 6, we're going to get into them going to LA, honey. I was like paying attention to details because, I know we're going to talk about it then, and I want to get super into it, but I was like, where are they staying, and will I know where they're staying? And yes, I do know where they're staying. A, because they showed us and told us, and B, because I know West Hollywood. But it's always so interesting where I'm like, yeah, where did Hulu put you up? Oh, they put you up at the Hotel Sofitel. All right, my babes. I hope you're having a good night. I have to do some more work. I want to finish episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then do some more notes for Sister Wives, and I'll do 90 Day Fiance tomorrow as well. All right, my loves. I love you guys, and those are going to be probably weird timings tomorrow. There might be some nighttime lives and stuff like that, just so I can get these out to you. So I hope you don't mind a little replay. Definitely go ahead and comment afterwards. I always respond to the comments. I can't always respond to other comments as I'm talking, but after the video goes up, honey, definitely. That's prime time for a comment. Also, if you haven't yet, consider sharing this video. Please please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please give a little like notification bell tickle if you haven't. Also on the docket, well, as I said, Sister Wives, 90 Day Fiance, and That's The Other Way, plus new 90 Day Fiancé is going to premiere in a couple of weeks. Well, that's exciting as well. And Happily Ever After is on the DocuSweeties channel. Of course, you can follow me on YouTube, Chris Farah, Chris L. Farah, on Facebook, Chris L. Farah. My Facebook group is Vanity Farah. I am on TikTok and Instagram as Chris L. Farah. You can see my dinner or like weird lip syncs I'm doing on TikTok. But tell me what you guys are watching. I really want to know what's interesting to you, what you've been enjoying. Are you seeing Wicked? Is that like on your docket? I already have 2 tickets to see it in 2 different days. So yes is the answer for me. Yes, I'm seeing it. I don't know if I'm super excited, but I am seeing it. At the same time, I really want you and me and all of us to take care of ourselves. Like I want to take care of myself. I want you to take care of yourself. I think we should take care of each other and this world way more than we have been. We need to take care of our mental states and our bodies more than we have been. We have to listen to ourselves to understand how we feel and give ourselves patience and time to know and to stand up for ourselves. So, rest and relax and feel your heart and breathe and create something dumb and fun or something grand and life-changing, but don't put the pressure on yourself. So just create with abandon and then just see what happens, But I really wish you guys happy holidays and a great week. And I'm sorry I don't have exact schedules to give you, but I will go ahead and put something together. So make sure you are following me on any of those channels and I'll let you guys know. And I will schedule them here. Other than that, I will talk to you later. All right. Owala. Thank you. That's exactly it. Okay. Thank you guys. All right. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves, one another. Stand up for what you believe. Make art. Bye.